Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite dark sorcerer here. And tonight, I'd like to kind of reflect a little bit over the last couple of months and the changes that are taking place within my personal world. It's interesting to see how the spirits lead you into things, how they lead you into areas or path workings that you would not normally go into. I've been doing a lot of rituals, a lot of meditations, and a lot of summonings, from destruction rituals to spiritual summonings to enlighten the path ahead. And I found it interesting just how much I've been led into the African Caribbean traditions of black magic, necromancy, and most importantly, how potent the sorcery has really become. Not only have I been keeping records of what I'm studying, what I'm practicing, but also the rites that I'm performing. Last month, I spent a good 2 to 3 weeks on a destruction rite to rid myself of an enemy that really has no good intention except for to stir up trouble, and he just wanted a war. So that was taken care of. And it was very evident because I felt it. It was just this overwhelming, like something had just let go. And I knew that right was done. The other day, I was down by the river, and I just found myself on the pier that I had thrown that debunk box off of, and I knew it had been sitting there for about a week or so, just underneath the water. And I happened to glance down, and it was gone. I mean, the entire box was just gone, which meant it's now down the river somewhere. Who knows where? Probably someplace deep, dark, and whatever. But it was there, it was just gone, and you feel that sense of relief. But I ended up going from Palo and Santeria and Haitian Voodoo into Brujeria practices over the last week. And I actually posted on social media one of the two books that I have on Brujeria, and that I've been following a couple practitioners that actually are practicing Brua and Brua practices, practitioners. And I've been getting a lot of advice from them. And it's interesting to see, just from what I've been doing, that huge shift in the polar opposite direction. Work has been going good. It I've been transferred over into the mornings because it aligns me perfectly with the management program that my bosses wanted to get put me into, and I was gung ho for it. I mean, I really was. I was gung ho for that management position until earlier today when I realized I don't know if I want to stay at this company. I feel bored and unsatisfied with it, you know? Like there's no challenge, there's no zeal, nothing new to learn. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you have to start thinking about yourself. And what's interesting to note is that I came home. I flopped down in the bed next to my better half for, until she went to work, and then I ended up going into the- my ritual chamber. You know, I washed my hands. Swished alcohol in the mouth. You're cleansing stuff. And I went in. I lit the candles, the incense, and I started meditating. And I found it hard to focus. So I started calling on the spirits that I've been working with. And it was interesting. I felt like there's something more for me out there. I haven't really been spending much time on social media. I've been posting little clips of the rites and rituals that I've been doing, probably about a minute, maybe 4 minutes max of the rituals that I've been performing, meditations, maybe, the tail end of them. But I just feel like the spirits are leading me somewhere else. So I don't know if I'm going to stay with the company that I'm at. And I actually reached out to a friend of mine, um, who's not a practitioner, by the way. And he's now working at a new job after 14 years, and he's yeah, I guess he's loving his job now. So his boss was looking to hire me at one time, and I was going to do that before I got put, transferred to mornings and put in the management program, or was going to be put into the management program. Now we just don't have the people for the afternoon shift and the closing, so we only got a morning crew. And it's funny how things just change like that. I mean, the spirits, when they move, because shit just happens. People just get up and leave. All of a sudden it's like, we're looking for people who are willing to volunteer and stay a couple extra hours. Maybe do an extra shift. And it's funny because I was sitting there in my altar room today, earlier this evening, and I just happened to look right at the lower right-hand section there, and I got this box. It's a specially designed box that is used for rituals and rites, kind of like the Daibok box. The Daibok box that I used during that destruction rite. And but this is more for like a spirit box. It's more, kind of like a spirit box, a Naganga, if you wish. Except for this one here's was used to be used for housing the ashes and a quartz crystal, back before I got into necromancy, and it's just been sitting in my ritual room, and just taking up space. So I ended up, cleaning it, I washed it out and I placed it on the altar when I did my new setup. And lately I realized, all this movement through the spirits, you know, I've been really contemplating on going back to school. I'm already an ordained minister, but I've been wanting to get into, my better half has been pushing me to get into the medical field. And it's funny because of the fact that I've been thinking about thanatology because thanatology, necrology, just about everything to do with necromancy can be derived through just, thanatology alone because it's like hospice, it's like CNA work, it's counseling and ministers, and you can do everything from getting employed at a let's say for an example a funeral home to that of the morgue, becoming a morgue tech. you know Thanatologists tend to study death on and dying, much like the book of Tibet, the Tibetan book of the dead, for an example. So here I am just sitting there. I'm sitting in the circle. Incense is swirling all around me. I've got white sage burning. I've got dragon's blood burning. I've got sandalwood burning, incense of death, that associate with death. And I've got these candles all around me going. And my eyes befall this box. And it's like, God damn. I've got, I was flashing back to a video that I saw from Bokor Leonard Amira. What you give to the spirits, never take back. That's the phrase that kept playing in my mind. And I'm looking back at this and I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting all this extra work. Um, I got shifts being offered me by the top brass. Okay, I'm talking, the owner, the district manager, the store manager, you know, um, and it's funny because of the fact and then you got my better half, who's trying to get me into getting more money, getting into a higher paid job. And it's funny because when I was looking at this box, I've got currency that I've given to the spirits, that I've just given to the spirits. I give alcohol, you know, fireballs, cinnamon snops, if you wish, as an offering, and blood offerings even. But now I'm giving money to them, a 20 here, a dollar there, maybe some loose change, just toss it in there and give it to them as an offering and a sacrifice at the same time. And I'm sitting here thinking about thanatology, going back to school. It's a time for change. It's a time for change. We just had a full moon. Even my apprentices have been feeling the pull from the planetary stations of current alignments. Hell, I've been feeling it. The restrictions, the anxiety, the frustration, and sometimes the anger. And then today, I was talking with a coworker, and she's going to be out for about 4 months. Due to shoulder surgery. She's going to be having about two, three different surgeries just on her shoulder alone from an incident at work. And I started reflecting upon it, and it's like, number one, the whole reason for me going to this job is no longer there. You know, all my friends have moved on. Those that I was friends with that work there, they're gone. They're no longer employed by this company. I have nobody really to talk to, you know, while I'm there during the shift outside of the customers. Those I do commune with, well, let's just say I really don't understand what they're saying because they're more part of the world. I'm not. I'm more spiritual and they're, physical stuff. So we really don't get each other. So there's really no point of staying there. So I started putting out applications for new jobs, looking for that next big challenge, looking for that, something to pique my interest, you know, get out of this slump, get out of this boredom. And I'm very happy when I'm in the ritual room and I'm performing sorcery, communing with spirits. I'm happy. I love it. It's like doing ministry. I love it, but that don't pay the bills. So, like I said, I've been thinking. All of a sudden, I started thinking about going back to school. I'm 42 years old. Okay, I'm 42 years old. I've had so many jobs that make smallpox look like fucking amateurs. You know what I'm saying? I've traveled the country for years. I've lived on the streets. I've studied under gurus. I've studied and practiced sorcery from various different traditions over 32 years. You know, now I'm a father. I'm a I'm a protector. I got a better half to look after. I got 4 cats to look after. And lately, you can tell there's a change coming and it's that shift. It's for the better. Actually, I was 11 when I started. 11 years old. Close. But yeah, it was interesting. I moved around a lot. But now I'm looking for that next big thing. Since I got into Bugeria and started really studying, Magia, um, the black magic within Brugeria, it's something it's really it really clicks. It clicks with me. Maybe it's that satanic side. I don't know because I was a Satanist for a long, long time before I decided to go, into necromancy 2 years ago on a full time basis, and to see where the commonalities between voodoo and Santeria, and Palo, all not just that, but also Santa Morte are all traditions practiced in one form or another within Brugeria. Now that was something that surprised me, and it was something that really intrigued me. It was like somebody just lit that wick. You know what I'm saying? It was like they just lit that wick, and that passion came back, and it was like, damn, you know. So the fact that they have a deity that is considered to be the necromancer, necromancy. That was pretty cool because they practice black magic, they practice gray magic, red magic, um, white magic, but also black magic. And it was and one other. I think it was green magic, if I remember correctly. Um, but yeah, it was there. So I just got the second book in the mail today, and I've been really hitting the the first book hard. I've got a lot of pages written down, notes that I've taken, things that I've researched, little experiments that I've been doing, and I'm really enjoying myself here. So I want to take this to the next step, and I think it is time to make that change. So I've decided looking around at colleges and I'm looking around at these different courses and just seeing what's out there. You know, I'm very good with cars. At least the stuff that I'm aware of. Because I was trained by an automotive technician, and it was interesting because of the fact that I work on my better half's car. I work on my own. I'm kind of happy when I'm doing that, but I want something more. You know, and thanatology has been nagging at me for a while since I did a small essay on it. So I mean, the fact that this is now an actual medical profession, I'm going to look into it and I'm going to apply myself to it. Who knows? Maybe it'll become part of my practice as a sorcerer, a necromancer. I don't know. What I can say is that with all the changes going on, I get a feeling that this is going to be a very, very good change. I think it's going to be something that is much needed, and it's a type of clarity that is a long time coming. And so I do hope that you guys have been liking the rituals that I've been putting forth lately. I really do. I know I haven't been really posting a lot of videos lately. Every so often, I'll just throw one on there that I've done, but that's about it. I haven't really been on social media that much. I get on just to, check my messages, and after that, it's just like I got really nothing to say or do on social media. So I've been really pulling back from that. And like I said, I've been really hitting the books a lot. I've been hitting the ritual room a lot. And I've had a lot of great experiences so far. Not only getting, like I said, getting back in working with the Gadi family of Haitian Voodoo, the Loa, the third class of Loa. I've been working a lot with Oya, the goddess of the dead in Santeria. Been working a lot of rites and rituals through Pelo Mayambi, doing a lot of annotation there and getting back into the actual practices, delving back into herbalism, delving back into study and practice, things that I haven't done in like 10 years since I became an ordained minister and an online teacher and guide. So, yeah, exactly. That's where I was leaning to. Either the mortician or the funeral home direct, to work in a funeral home. Either way, you work with the dead. And so I was kind of leaning to either one because that the job of a thanatologist actually can put you into both sides, not just working with the community, working with the dead or dying, you know, as a counselor, you know, guide, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, um, the thing I've been really hesitant about the mortician aspect because you'd be working in a hospital. And one of the things that I've learned lately because of my better half, because she actually worked in a hospital for about 3 months, was that they're highly political. Okay. I hate politics. That shit should not be in the medical field. Hell, it shouldn't even be in religion, you know. So, I mean, but it's there, so, but the mortician is something that does intrigue me. Not just the mortician, but also working in a funeral home. Either way, you know, Well, I'll see where the spirits lead me in that case. But one step at a time. The first step is applying to the colleges, getting into a course. You know, I think the nearest college to me would be Beale College, and they actually have a medical course there. They've got you can go for your MA through them, um, but I don't know much about their medical programs. I would have to jump on and take a look. Outside of that, I know there's a couple first class colleges within about 30 minutes of where I reside. Another one in Southern Maine. So I've got a few things, and on top of that, you got online courses. So whatever works. But yeah, there is a lot of changes coming in my life, and one of the things I've been looking into is just my better half's going to be graduating. I think she said in January. It's like December, January area. So this is actually a pretty good time to for me to get into college and to actually promote myself and get better at a lot of things, not just to help my practices, but to also my education. You know, as you all know, my primary goal is education. Enlightenment. Knowledge is key, and I've always said that. Whatever you practice, always back it up. You know, always make yourself available to the public. But yeah, um, like I said, there's a lot of changes coming, and over the next few weeks, I'm just taking it one step at a time and letting the spirits guide me. So for right now, that's all I wanted to say. All right. I want to thank Men Like Gods for jumping on here with me, the Chemical Mind, and I'm pretty sure that's
Right.
actually, yeah. Just
You too.
you guys. So thanks for jumping on with me and Men Like Gods. It's always a pleasure. You've always been one of those
Right.
that always has some good things to say. In this case, mortician, thanatology, and stuff like that. It's always good to know. It's always the higher ups, though, that end up getting into the politics aspects. I got some plans, and I know my better half is looking into the business aspects of the medical field. She's now a teacher in a nursing home. She's on the floor teacher now, and she's got tenure when it comes to CNA work. So me, I've got 10 years. I've got tenure with ministry. So multi faith ministry, and I've read my own order for 10 years. I'm thinking about closing it down. And just moving on to something new. You know, but yeah, mm, there's a lot coming. But like I said, one thing at a time. Just see where the spirits take you. And you welcome men like gods. So have a good night. I've got to be to work at 6 a.m. That's in roughly less than 8 hours. So luckily for me, I only need a couple hours sleep. So I'm gonna go hit the books again. You know, probably do a ritual around midnight. Meridian, Devil's Hour, whatever you want to call it. Midnight to 3 a.m. And from there, head to work. So I'll keep you posted on the changes. And if you like what I do and you like the knowledge I put forth, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It's your choice, always has been. I'm not about numbers and I'm not about popularity. I don't care if you like me or not. But for those of you who want to learn, those of you who want to progress, go for it. Feel free to follow. So, you two men like gods. So, anyways, for those of you watching and those of you who will come on, hope you like what I got going on. Have a good night. Until next time.